My name is Alera Weyemi, and I work with Proshare Foundation, where we educate, enlighten, and empower to bring to the fore financial inclusion through innovative solutions. For us at Proshare Foundation, it has been a very exciting journey. And to be honest, I would say that it has been pretty slow because the data which we actually need is not real time to carry out our work to help us develop innovative solutions. However, we must say that it is a far cry compared to what was obtainable before. With research from reputable organizations such as Elfina, Proshare in itself, National Bureau of Statistics, amongst others, we're beginning to get a clear picture of what is happening in the economy and financial sectors in Nigeria, especially at micro levels. When we say there's research that backs the absence or minimal level of financial literacy, it is directly in proportion to the level of poverty in the country. Other key finding records that 1 in every 4 women still lack access to finance. Another buttresses the point that there's an ongoing high rate of women who have to fend for their families, they're becoming breadwinners. And then another is the fact that women actually build sustainable businesses than men, even at the ultra micro level. All this research actually point to the fact that we at Proshare Foundation know to hold to be true, that when you empower one woman, she goes on to empower others, and invariably the nation is empowered. It has formed the basis of one of the projects at Proshare Foundation, which we're very passionate about. Yet our core mandate is still premised on the fact that we educate, enlighten, and empower people with financial literacy education. When you say educate, enlighten, and empower, it's a loop in itself. So I would say that when we say educate, we bring to bear the principles that are absolutely fundamental to wealth creation. And beyond that, there are also 4 pillars when you talk about education. So you're talking about the belief system, you're talking about making money, you're talking about managing and multiplying money. At this point, we would say that education needs to be more practical. So it has to come from the point where it is answerable to your everyday challenges and how you get to deal with the financial knowledge that you've learned. When we get to the point of enlightenment, we do this via our innovative solutions. Because you don't just want to educate people, but you also want to enlighten them how they need to use this knowledge to help them buttress what they have learned. So we have gone ahead to develop innovative solutions that respond to the everyday financial issues that people are dealing with. Now, the third is to empower. We have seen that there's a huge gap when you say empowerment. People leave the very first 2, which I feel is the core of financial literacy education. So you need to educate the people, enlighten them, and then you get to the point of empowerment. Empowerment is providing the tools or the resources for them to be able to carry out this knowledge that they have learned, and even for them to what they have learned from the enlightenment. So it is a process and it is a journey for them to get to the point of empowerment. For us, we have been able to loop the 3 together to be able to provide this as a solution for financial literacy that leads us to financial inclusion. I would say that 2021 was quite a very interesting year. Post-COVID, COVID came with many challenges, and it hampered on the core of what we do. However, one of our pillars, our focus pillars at the foundation, is we also run advocacy projects. And this was quite a great opportunity for us to be involved with the COVID sensitization and awareness campaigns. And we worked with reputable organizations and partners who were credible in that regard, to provide information, to educate people about COVID, how people could stay safe, how they could relate and keep the social distancing. While at the field, we found out that so many women were abused, and sadly enough, some died from domestic violence. And with this abuse came deep mental issues that people are still dealing with up to today. It became quite apparent that women must begin to be the focus of systemic solutions that provide education, enlightenment, and empowerment. So in this part of the world, it is very difficult, more difficult for a woman to get a clean break. And we thought we could build from this point to bring women together at different levels, whether at the grassroots level, whether at the middle class level, or even as elites, to work together with the principle of collaboration as against competition, which has in time past have been amongst women. So presently, that is what we were doing. And it led us to developing the SIMBI Women's Empowerment Project, which we ran in 2021. Why the grassroots women? Well, why not the grassroots women? No one actually gets to focus on these women, actually, and I would say that it is pretty unfair for us not to include them, because if you're talking about financial inclusion, they should not be excluded, truly, because you see that the women, and they are women, really. They are not. Sometimes people say, oh, grassroots. Yes, because you need to define that demography. But they, in their little way, contribute in no small measure to the economy and to their families as well. I would say that, and I'll give a typical example here. We all need the market woman in whatever we need to do, because we need to go to the market to buy our basic needs. And the truth of the matter is, whatever class you find yourself, whether at the grassroots level, whether at the elite state, we all have basic needs. So for example, you would say that we all need to eat. So I can choose to go to a very expensive restaurant to have lunch. The woman in the market also needs to feed. So she can choose to say, I can eat at Iyar Risi's Buka. It is the same thing. We all need to meet our basic needs. I'll give you another example, an interesting one. We all need to clean up our tooth in the morning. So I can choose to use very high luxury brands to clean my tooth with a toothbrush. The Iyarisi in the market can choose to use the local, what you and I know as bako, I think that's what it's called, to clean her tooth. But the whole aim is achieved because we need to get our tooth cleaned. So you can see that humans really all have the same basic needs of life. When we talk about grassroots women, and these women do business, they have the capability to earn, to manage, and this directly impacts on the level, I would say it directly impacts on the population and the quality of their children. Criminality, I would say, has a symbolic relationship with poverty. When women are able to make the right decisions for themselves, they raise better kids and they raise better homes, and we have a better nation in our hands. However, we found out that at this level, these women who are now financially exclusive are not able to make the right financial decisions. And that's what we discovered during the COVID era, that they couldn't make the right decisions, they couldn't save, they couldn't earn better, and it helped us because we were at the field. We were able to develop a solution that met that pain point. For us at the foundation, the Simbi project was an eye-opener for us. I would say that while at the field, we had, it was a learning curve for us because this was one of the very first approaches we had dealing with these women. You would think that they really did not know anything about financial management. Yes, they knew at their level, but the process of managing, they knew how to make money. The process of managing wasn't there. The process of multiplying wasn't there. They didn't know how to, they didn't have any idea about insurance. They didn't have any idea about micro health schemes. They didn't know how to take care of their health. So it was all just a whole lot out there. And for us, putting this package together, it was very impactful because you could see the joy and smile on the faces of the women. They were very excited. They were very happy. At the end of it all, they had good things to say because yes, they earn, and they were saving at the micro level where the thrift collector comes to collect the daily savings from them, but they didn't know how to. And one key thing which I found very interesting was the definition of success for them. So at different levels, you would say that what is success to you? I got talking to majority of them. Success for them, the definition of success for them was that they could, the ability for them to be able to fend for their families, because 80% of these women were breadwinners in their homes, and they could fend for their families, and most importantly, they could train their children. So one particular conversation I had with one of the women, she said, success for me is that I have been able to train my 3 children actually, through school, and 3 of them are graduates, just from the sale of selling baskets of tomatoes in the market. And ask me how many baskets she sells. She sells just 1 basket of tomatoes on a daily basis. And from that, she could train her children through school to the university level. For her, that was success. You and I can define success as you having assets, having investments here and there, but their level of the definition for success for them is at a different level. For that, for me, that was the measure of success of that project. I would say that financial products are not aesthetics. They're not picture frames you just hang on the wall. Financial products are meant to be functional. They're meant to answer to a pain point. They're meant to be solutions to a problem, and they're meant to be scalable. But you find out that today, the products you have out there are user selective. And the word is user selective. It's not user friendly. They are not designed to answer to the pain points of this demography of people we're talking about, whether be it market women, be it farmers. You find out quite a number of fintech organizations today are designing products, but then we still have seen, we tried it, we tested out a couple of them while we were running this program. We still found out that there were still hitches here and there with this product. So I'll say that it really has not met the objectives, and it's still a work in progress. So I would say, and I would advise to those who are focused on developing products, that it is high time we hit the streets. Let's go out there, talk to these people, get to understand what their needs are, what their pain points are, and develop solutions that answer to these problems directly. And that is the only way we can get to increase the rate of financial inclusion as desired by the government, and also it also would help answer to the SDG goals designed by the UN. So for 2022, it's also going to be an exciting year for us at Proshare Foundation. We intend to scale the SIMBI projects to other states of the Federation. Interestingly, we have an ongoing project which is Talent on the Wheels, and this is targeted at out-of-school children on the streets. We intend to bring them into the informal educational sector, and we looking forward to partnering with reputable organizations, brands, individuals of like minds to reach out to this demography of people. I would like to thank our present partners, sponsors of our projects. We're open to and we look forward to partnering with forward-thinking individuals, brands, organizations that are like-minded to bring to bear and to bring to life our projects and to scale it to other states of the country in response to the urgent need for us to keep the financial literacy education alive that will bring about financial inclusion. Thank you.